What's going on, DBN? It's your boy, Intergalactic Brew, coming at you one more again. This is my final video of the rivalry week between the Falcons and the Saints. Well, as of now, it's 12:12 a.m. so we are approximately 24 hours away to what I will believe will be the game of the year. Some call it, the Battle of the Bayou. Some people call it the NFC South Bowl. Some call it, a battle for the division. I call it the War of all wars. Straight up. Because anything you can put on the line that would best fit this game, you're going to see on Sunday.
Has been detected.
Whether it be retribution, which is what we're trying to get, reputation, which is something we're trying to maintain, and number 3, bragging rights, which is something that we want to have. I'm talking about the Falcons fans specifically, but I'm sure the Aints fans do as well. But anyway, y'all know how I do it. At the end of every rivalry week, after all the trash talking is done, I get down to business and I give my analysis for the game of that upcoming week. And I think for this game with the Saints, this is going to be something a little bit out of the ordinary. This is going to have to be something special that we're going to have to pull against the Saints. Because, logically, since we are the undefeated team, and since we have, won more games than the opposing team, which is the Saints, you would think that we would be a little bit more favored and get a little bit more credit in this game. But as you all know, the Saints are the media darlings of the world, at least one of them. So it just comes with the territory, But I think Atlanta, we've got a perfect opportunity. I think we're in the perfect position to go out here and shock these Saints fans and shock the Bounty Dome and come away with probably, if not the biggest victory of the season, one of the biggest victories of the season. Because remember, we got to play these guys again at the Georgia Dome. So if we win round 1 here, which I feel deep down in my heart that we will, that's going to really set the tone for the second game. But anyway, enough about that. I want to get into the technicality, the X's and O's, the good stuff that we're going to see on Sunday. So here we go. Alright, now I'm going to start off with Atlanta on defense. Here's the thing. On defense, one word comes to mind: physical, physical, physical. We have got to be extremely physical with the Saints. We cannot let the Saints think that they can take advantage of us and do anything they want with us. Because if we do, they will win this game. Bottom line. So like I just said, what we need to do is we need to come out and we need to play with ruthless aggression and extreme physicality. And how do we do that? Well, that starts up front with our defensive line. Now, I don't know what type of looks Mike Nolan is going to dial up, but I'm sure they're going to be confusing, and, they're going to have Drew Brees' eyes rolling in the back of his head. At least that's what I'm claiming, and that's what I'm betting on. But I think up front on the D-line, I think we need to rush 4, including some pressure up the middle. I think our defensive tackles are really going to have to play another big part this week, because again, we don't have Sean Witherspoon, our defensive captain. So once again, you know, our tackles are gonna have to pick up the scraps, so to speak.
Threat has been detected.
So I'm thinking up front, I'm thinking we probably rush 4 and really collapse the pocket on Breeze and not even let him get a peek over his offensive line. And, you know, when we collapse that pocket, we really need to hit him. Like, you know what I'm saying? We need to have 2 guys coming. If we have 2 guys coming at him to initiate the pressure and somebody penetrating up the middle to spear him, then so be it. But when we collapse that pocket on Breeze, we need to hit that guy. We just don't need to, you know, just take him down. We need to tackle him. You know, we need to battering ram his ass. Seriously. Because he's got deceiving athleticism. We all know that. And we know he's got great vision down the field. We know he likes to step up in the pocket and go downfield or go across the middle to Jimmy Graham or Marcus Colston. So that's basically the MO up front. Also, again, we got to tackle better. We did a good job of it last week against the Cowboys. That was probably the best we've tackled since the Philadelphia game, and we need to continue that. I mean, a couple of missed tackles there. I mean, you know, I'm not going to be too irate about that, but we definitely don't need to be missing 2, 3, 4, 5 makeable tackles. And again, just like in the Philly game, we need to be patient and calculated with our tackles. We need to get good angles on whoever the ball carrier or whoever has the ball in their hands. We need to have a good angle so we can have a clean, straight path to the ball. Like I was saying before, you know, when we, you know, with these guys, you know, we got to be patient. We can't let our emotions get the best of us. We can't go for the knockout blow early in the game. Like I've stated before in these videos, you know, we need to be patient. We need to get some easy tackles, get some momentum going, get some confidence going, and then once we've softened them up and feel like we got them where we want them, then we go for the crushing blow. Then we put them on their butts and really make them think about it. But whatever we do not need to overplay or over pursue any of their receivers, because if we do, they're going to smoke us. And that's just the way it is. So I think if we use good technical, patient but ruthless, aggressive tackling, I think we're going to take the wind out of their sails early on. That's what I believe. We definitely need to get Drew Brees off the field on 3rd down. It's not impossible to do. I've seen most of the Saints games this season, or if I haven't watched the whole games entirely, I've seen them on highlights on their website. Drew Brees can be stopped on 3rd down. And if I know Mike Nolan, that's what he's going to try hard to do, because that's what he lives for, 3rd down. So we got to, if we get a good quick 3 and out on Drew Brees, that will do wonders for our confidence. But that's one of the main things we have to do. We got to get Drew Brees off the field on 3rd down. With these receivers, I mean, again, going back to that ruthless aggression and physicality, you know, we got to jam them. You know, we got to bump and run with them, and we got to stay step for step with them. Now, the good thing about the Saints receiving corps is they are athletic players, but they don't have like blitzkrieg speed as more of a, you know, a Julio Jones or a Calvin Johnson or Demaryius Thomas or Deshaun Jackson or even a Devin Hester. You know, they don't have that type of speed. They are fast, but they don't have like that lightning bolt speed like those guys do. So I believe that our corners can keep up with Colston and Lance Moore and Devery Henderson. But whatever we do, man, we gotta bump. You gotta bump and run with them. You know, we gotta jam them. You know, we gotta bully them. Gotta knock them around, and really make them hesitate about running those routes. So yeah, I think if we could just get in their face and do that, then I think we'll be fine. Now, at the same time, you know, they are going to score their points. They are going to make their run because they're the New Orleans Saints. That's what they do. I mean, a lot of teams have maybe been able to contain them and not let them score as many points, but they're going to score points. And if they don't score points, they're going to at least make some plays, because that's just them. They're just relentless, and they don't quit until they get what they want. So if they do go on a run, you know, we just got to weather the storm, because you know what's going to happen at times in the game. But if, you know, we just keep our composure and just forget about it and move on to the next play, we can shut these guys down. Now, another big thing is going to be the red zone. We cannot let these guys get anywhere near the red zone, and if we do get them in the red zone, if they do so happen to get near the red zone, then we got to do what we can to keep them from scoring. Whatever it is. I mean, if we got to rush 5 guys, whatever. But we got to keep those guys out of the end zone, period. Also, we know that the Saints are going to run the ball. We know that. So, of course, as always, every week, we got to stop the run. So, I believe that's where it's going to start, with the run game to open up the pass, logically. So, you know, first and foremost, we got to stop that run, and I believe that even though we don't have Sean Witherspoon, I think Akeem Dent and Mike Peterson and Stephen Nicholas and the rest of those guys are more than capable of stepping up and putting on a good game in his absence. So I'm not worried about those guys. I've got all the confidence in the world in those guys, and I know they'll do awesome for us. So basically, defense, physicality, extreme physicality, good hard tackling, and basically, you know, just get in the receiver's face. That's pretty much. The whole theme of this game is going to basically be in your face. That's what we got to do. We got to stay in the Saints' face, pretty much. Now, at the same time, when we take that approach, we may give up some stuff, but that's okay. Because like I said, they're the Saints. They're going to score. There's not too many teams that's going to shut that team down. I don't know what it is about them, but they just have that thing where, you know, they're able to score points in spite of. So like I said, we just got to, you know, endure that surge and fight through it and do what we can to make plays. And I believe we can. Now, moving on to the always challenging and maybe the toughest part of the game is Atlanta's offense versus the Saints' defense. And I think this is really what the game is going to come down to. Well, let me take that back. Both sides of the ball is what the game is going to come down to. But this will be the most intriguing, I believe. Now, as far as Atlanta on offense and the Saints on defense, it's really no secret here either. We know the Saints are going to blitz us, but they're going to be very calculated in doing it. Much like we probably might do against Breeze, they're probably going to rush maybe like 4 against Matt, and Our offensive line has got to pick that up. I mean, they played pretty darn good last week. I'll give them their props. Could have done better, but they played pretty damn good last week against Dallas, for the most part. But we cannot allow Matt to get sacked at all. If we can help it, we cannot allow him to get sacked. So the offensive line is going to really have to buckle down, and is going to really have to mash these defensive ends and linebackers to the best of their ability, and I believe they can do it. I've seen them do it, and I'm claiming and believing that they will do it. Because I think, being that the Saints defensive line is a very aggressive defensive line, and they've got so many good rushers that can get to the quarterback up front. I think Steve Spagnuolo is going to look to want to rush forward and really bring the pain to Matt. But then again, at the same time, the positive thing about that is if they do decide to do that, that still could be a mistake, because I believe what Atlanta could do is they could go back to using the screen game. Now, we haven't seen that since the Philly game, but I think we need to go back to the screen game. I think it's very effective, and it's the #1 antidote to stopping the pass rush. And I think that's where Jacquizz Rodgers is going to play a huge factor in this game. Maybe Harry Douglas as well. Hopefully we'll see a lot of Harry Douglas in this game. But I definitely think Jacquizz Rodgers is going to play a part in that if we go to the screen game, because he's of course he's small, and he's big, and he's fast. And if you give him if you make a play for him where he could utilize all of those qualities that he has, then he's going to do damage. And speaking of which, that leads me to another way to win for the Atlanta offense is running the ball. I think we will need to run the ball a lot in this game. Now, I know we've developed a philosophy this year of not being strictly a running team. We want to be a scoring offense, and I love that mindset that Coach Smith has instilled in us this year. So, with that being said, I think if we run the ball as much as we pass the ball, I think we can really expose the Saints defense, much like Philadelphia did. With the momentum that they did have in that Monday night game, when they ran the ball, that defensive line completely shattered. I mean, just completely, fell into itty bitty pieces. I mean, LaShawn McCoy was, just head chogging his way through that D line and into that secondary. And I believe if we take that same approach with Turner, Quiz, and Snelling, I think that'll make life a lot easier, and it'll make the passing game a lot more smoother. Because I'm going to tell you right now, in my opinion, in my honest opinion, I don't think any of New Orleans secondary can cover our receiving corps. I just don't think so. Especially in man coverage. Patrick Robinson can't cover Julio, and Jabari Greer sure as hell can't cover Roddy White. Because, I mean, in the past, Roddy White, you put Jabari Greer on Roddy White has always dusted him, always gotten the best of Jabari Greer, and I don't think it's going to change here. Like I've said time and time again, the only way you will stop our receivers is if you double or triple cover them. You got to send more than one guy on our guys. I'm serious. Because, I mean, we got too many problems on our receiving core. Roddy's a problem. Julio's a problem. Tony Gonzalez is definitely a big problem. Harry Douglas can be a problem. And to top it off with our running backs, come on, man, really? That's just, you know, that's just danger waiting to happen. That's how good we are. So, you know, I don't know what the Saints' game plan is for that, but whatever they're planning to do, they better hope it works, because they cannot cover our receiving core one-on-one. But knowing them, they're probably going to be stupid anyway and try to do it, and they're going to get dusted. Now, one last thing I want to say about the offense versus the New Orleans Saints defense. Everybody's talking about, you know, Curtis Lofton and what he's going to do. I'm sure Curtis Lofton will have, you know, a big impact in the run game. But I'm telling y'all right now, if the Saints plan on dropping Curtis Lofton in coverage against either Roddy, Julio, Tony, whoever, if they plan on dropping that man in coverage, I'm telling you, dude, he's going to get buried. I mean, come on now. We know Curtis. Curtis can't cover nobody. He's a hell of a tackler. I'll give him that. That's where he's dangerous as far as tackling. But I mean, as far as covering, like receivers or tight ends, no. Nah, buddy. I mean, come on. Perfect example. We saw what happened last year when they dropped it, when Brian Van Gorder made the dumb decision to drop him in coverage with Percy Harvin. I mean, come on, dude. He was chasing wind. Percy Harvin was already in the end zone, and Curtis Lofton was still somewhere like at the 35 or the 20, still trying to chase him down. Come on now. No, don't do it. I'm telling you, do not drop Curtis Lofton in the coverage, because he's going to get humiliated. I'm going to tell you that right now. But anyway, for the most part, like I said, this is going to be a war. Like I said, I'm prepared to go into overtime, 2 overtimes, you know, onside kick, field goal, whatever the case may be. You know, it's going to be a dogfight. It's going to be an all-out war, and I'm ready for every bit of it. And Falcons fans, you should be too. And I have completely gone over on this video. It's officially 23 seconds. I don't care. Like I said, this is the Saints. I'm going all out. I don't care. Y'all can complain how long my video is. I really don't give a shit right now, to tell you the truth. But yeah, so again, to any Falcons fan that think that this is going to be a blowout, I'm telling you, stop thinking that right now. This is the Saints. We're coming to the Superdome. They want to knock us off and be the first ones to do it and get their season back on track and give themselves some confidence throughout the rest of this month. So just be prepared for a tough, close, breathtaking game. And that's pretty much it, man. But through it all, the Falcons will survive, and we will win, and we will go 9-0 and prove who's the better team in the NFC South. So with that being said, I'm out.